Hi. Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new Nike Magista X Finale 2 indoors in the launch Volt Yellow, Total Orange, and Black colorway. Now, all you get inside the box are the shoes themselves, and of course, here is a look at the shoes. Now, these are really interesting. If you guys saw my video on the Magista X Proximo 2, this essentially has the same Lunarlon cushioning system and outsole, this being the indoor variation. There is a turf model available as well, but with the upper, obviously it's low cut, but it's also very unique. It's the only model in the new Magista lineup, either in the indoor lineup or the firm ground lineup, that features this particular upper, and I think it's really interesting. I know a lot of people would expect it to be based off of the Opus just on how it looks, but that is not the case at all. This is entirely unique to the Finale 2 model in the Magista X line, and honestly, I think it's a pretty cool shoe overall. So in today's video, we're going to be going over all the tech specs and performance features of this particular shoe. We're going to take a look at the weight, as well as how they fit and feel on feet. So if you are interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can go ahead and click the little pop-up on screen or the first link down below in the description, and that's going to take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $100 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk tech specs with the Magista X Finale 2. Now, this is a really interesting shoe, mainly because of the upper. It's not based off of any of the other Magista models, and it's just a really unique thing in general that I think feels really good. So what they've done here is kind of what we've seen in the past from the Mercurial X Finale, in that it's kind of a Nike skin type construction, in that it's a mesh-based synthetic, but it's the same mesh base that we saw on the Magista Opus 1. So it's a smooth mesh, and then by way of this synthetic material, they somehow fuse that on top, and I would assume by way of heat, have implemented this texturing. So the synthetic layer on top, or synthetic layers on top, along with that mesh base, with heat in this particular pattern, I assume they press it to give it this texturing. They've actually given us the same texturing that you would find on the Magista Obra 2 by way of Flyknit, but in the form of a combination of mesh and synthetic, which is just really interesting. So you have all that same texturing. It appears to be the exact same thickness as what you're going to find on the Obra 2, and to a certain extent it has a pretty similar feel. This is a little bit thinner just because it is a thinner layer of mesh on the inside, so it does have, like I said, a thinner sensation than you might expect, but you still get that sensation of the upper kind of flattening out and compressing when you make contact in the ball in the heavily textured areas of the upper. So a really nice sensation, and something that I really like about this particular shoe. The finish on the outside is not kind of the standard waxy Nike skin finish. It's more of just a smooth kind of synthetic leather feel, but that's not a bad thing at all. It's just something that I guess is a little bit different. The laces run through the middle. They're kind of slightly to the medial side, like you'll find typical of the Magistas, but it does have a dual lace hole system, as you can see, with the center part being kind of a tongueless design filled in with this stretchy neoprene. Again, kind of like what you'll find with the Mercurial X Finales. So this is all elasticated. It has somewhat of a tongue feel to it, and it does come up a little bit higher. It's curved right here, so it kind of wraps around your ankle or the front of your foot, leg area pretty nicely. No issues there. And it feels very comfortable. It's a one-piece enclosure, obviously, so it can't really open up all that much, although this part is stretchy, which it needs to be for you to actually get the shoes on. It has kind of, again, more of an elasticated sensation around the collar. It is, of course, low cut. Internal heel counter, which feels nice and solid as well. The liner, the heel liner, is a mesh material with a decent amount of padding. I don't love the mesh liner, but it does feel comfortable against your foot, so no major complaints about that. The insole is fully glued in. It's non-removable for whatever reason, which is, I guess, unusual at the $100 price point, but not something that I have any major issues with, given that the cushioning setup is pretty good. And it's also the same cushioning setup you're going to find on the higher end Proximo 2, which retails for $75 more. So it's a Lunarlon midsole that provides a good amount of underfoot cushioning. Not the most low profile thing in the world, but you kind of sacrifice that for the amount of cushioning that it provides. So If you want kind of a closer to the ground feel, maybe take a look at the Mercurial X line versus the Magista X line, or even the Hypervenom X is more low profile than this. But again, if you want kind of maximum underfoot cushioning from a Nike indoor model, this or the Proximo 2 in the Magista X lineup is the way to go. And then the outsole, you do have the large rubber lip running through the forefoot and toe box area with the nylon stitching, so sole separation and just general durability in the high wear zone on the upper is going to be a non-issue. And then of course you do have the indoor variation as far as the bottom is concerned with this kind of, I guess, oval shaped traction pattern where it's got some good separation as far as the little kind of grooves are concerned. They've got good flexibility to it. It grips the floor pretty well, and they don't really clog up with dust all that easily if you are in an indoor kind of dusty court. And on concrete, it works pretty well too as far as traction is concerned, and there's also has some decent thickness to it. So durability, again, is not a major issue, especially considering that it is more solid along the edges, which again, from a durability standpoint, is a very good thing. And of course, this is available in a turf bottom as well, should you require that. They make both versions available to you. So that's pretty much it as far as what these have on offer. I think it's a really interesting shoe. If you're asking what my preference is between the Proximo 2 and the Finale 2 in the new Magista X lineup, I like low-cut shoes in general. I tend to prefer that, and I actually just like how this shoe feels. It's a really, really nice pair of indoors. And again, if you're looking for something that's unique but still reminiscent of what you can get from the Magista line as far as feel is concerned, this Finale 2 model is definitely what I would take a look at, and probably my preference of the two high-end models in the Magista X lineup. In terms of weight, when you're comparing the Magista X Finale 2 to the Proximo 2, because they have the same outsole and midsole, the weight isn't too far off. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using the scale just so you can see exactly how much they weigh. Keep in mind that this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. I'm going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.65 ounces, the equivalent of 245 grams. So just a little bit lighter than what you're gonna find from the more expensive Proximo 2 variation. Not a noticeable amount of weight though in terms of what you're gonna notice on your feet. The biggest difference is just gonna be the way that they feel and fit to a certain extent because of the different uppers. So if you're trying to decide between the two, neither of them are super, super light. They're not super heavy either. And like I said, it really should come down to what type of fit and feel that you're looking for rather than which one is just a little bit lighter in the Finale 2. As far as the look goes, I think the Finale 2 is a really, really good looking pair of indoors. This is obviously the launch colorway for the Magista model, so you do have the Volt Yellow base with the orange and pink accent in the heat mapped areas, black Nike swoosh on either side. What I like about this one is that they added the little bit of neo turquoise teal in the heel area and the fuse part. You do have the Magista X branding in black, but I think that little bit of teal at the heel just looks really, really good. Obviously you have that teal color, or turquoise color I should say, in the liner as well. And then of course the white midsole with the black outsole, at least the black outsole that you can actually see, which is probably the one aspect of this colorway that I think just looks a little bit off. I think they should have gone for perhaps a brighter color just for a nicer accent, but nonetheless, I think this is actually a pretty good looking pair of indoors, even in a colorway that is a little bit bright for my taste. But nonetheless, I think they look pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the on-feet portion of the video so we can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. All right, so here is a look at the Magista X Finale 2s on feet. On my left foot I have the stock Volt Yellow laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of turquoise reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. You'll find a little pop-up on screen as well as a direct link in the description that'll take you right to the website. So if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, they're actually very comfortable from right out of the box. It has the same general shape as the rest of the Magista models, so it's pretty generous width-wise. They'll definitely fit most people. You're not going to get too much stretch out of this upper, but as long as you don't have really, really wide feet, again, I think these will fit you just fine. As far as how the upper feels, it's very thin, thinner than what you're going to find from the Proximo 2 with the Obra upper, of course, but at the same time, it still has a nice kind of solid feel to it. It doesn't feel flimsy by any means, and they're just nice, comfortable shoes out of the box. There's not a whole lot to get used to or a whole lot to break in. I know I said I'm not a huge fan of the mesh heel liner, but really no heel slippage at all. The fit is really, really nice, and I like the neoprene kind of enclosure for your foot where the tongue would normally be located. It just has a nice kind of seamless, well put together feel, if that makes any sense. As far as underfoot cushioning is concerned, it does have the Lunarlon cushioning setup, so underfoot cushioning is definitely a strong point with this particular shoe if that's something that you value in a pair of indoors. And again, not too much to break in with this particular pair. Width-wise, like I mentioned, it will be suitable for most people. And as far as sizing is concerned, it is the same as the rest of the Magista models, either the outdoor ones or the indoor ones. The whole line runs about a half size small, so instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I bumped it up to a 9.5, and the fit and length is absolutely perfect. So if you're coming from another Magista shoe, I'd recommend sticking with the same size that you're currently wearing, and if you're coming from most other shoe lines, I would recommend going a half size up in order to achieve the best possible fit. Alright guys, that is it for my review of the Nike Magista X Finale 2 Indoors. If you guys are interested to pair these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description, or you can go ahead and click the I in the corner. On that page, you will find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $100 retail price in both the indoor and turf variation. So again, if you're interested in a pair, be sure to go ahead and check out that review page. If you have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.